the women and the elderly people around us, and they take those out of context, what it was like being a protester that almost died that day.
Yeah, so, what people don't understand is that for the Trump supporters that did do some violence, against the police, they weren't doing that violence against the police out of nowhere. It was the only reason why violence was committed against the police is, one, a little was done so they could get past the police, so they pushed them out of the way, and two is retaliation. So imagine if someone was murdered, killed right in front of you wrongfully. Especially if it's done in front of a big crowd of hundreds and thousands. That's going to enrage that crowd. Imagine if someone gets shot in the face with a rubber bullet and it blasts their face off. Like, that's literally what happened. People had their faces blasted off and stuff in front of the crowd. And people got mad. That's what the media won't show you. So at that tunnel, Roseanne Boyland was killed, and people thought that I was dead or near death, and people got mad. But of course, the media is not going to show you, our bodies there, and they're not going to show you the footage of people screaming, "They're dead! They're dead! You killed them! You killed them!" They don't show that part. They just show the people clashing with the police afterwards. They say, "Oh, they're trying to get inside the building because they're mad that Trump lost the election." That's all they do. They lie. They lie. They lie. They lie. It's people did that because they were pissed. They thought they saw the police in front of them. They thought the police murdered people, which they did murder Roseanne Boyland. They absolutely murdered Roseanne Boyland. And that's the entire reason why they came after me. But going back to what Jake said, it was crazy because everyone showed up that day. I mean, I can't speak for every individual person, but it's pretty obvious. Like 99% of the people that were there because they wanted to make sure that the election was legitimate. They wanted the election to be investigated. They didn't want no violence. They didn't want to overthrow the government. They didn't want to do an insurrection. And the FBI and the DOJ has already admitted there was no plan of insurrection. Yet they continue to push that dishonest narrative, that bullshit, so they continue to have cover to persecute the living hell out of people. That's why they push a lot of these lies about police officers being killed that day, even though it's been debunked. They use these lies as cover to persecute people. But it was crazy. I did not expect that, my life was going to be on the line like that. I mean, people just want to make sure the election, was legit. But then, the police flipped on us. They used gas. And after they used gas, and it wasn't like tear gas, because tear gas makes your face and your eyes burn. This is like a lethal military-grade gas that you think would be used in, like, combat, to where you're suffocated and it kills you, where all the oxygen is taken out of your lungs, and I couldn't breathe. The second I get hit with this gas, I couldn't breathe. So I turn around and run away as fast as I can, but my body goes limp. All the oxygen is, like, immediately taken out of my lungs. And when you can't breathe, you can't breathe. You're going to face plant, and there's nothing to breathe, And your body can't create oxygen out of nothing. It's got to get it out of the air. So my body goes limp. I got no oxygen in my lungs. I face plant. And the police go crazy. They're shooting people point blank with rubber bullets, with tear gas, and with the mace and pepper spray. And they go even more crazy with pushing people on top of us. Even though the people are trying to leave, they can't do it in an orderly fashion because they're in this narrow tunnelway. So we're in this very narrow tunnelway, and the police use gas. So when you're in a narrow tunnelway with a bunch of people and you gas people, I mean, that's basically the same thing as, like, putting someone in an airlocked room and gassing them with, like, kill gas. That's like putting a Jew in, like, a Nazi chamber and gassing them. That's basically what it is. They turn that tunnelway into a kill box with how much gas they put into it. So people turn around and run away as fast as they can, and they go crazy, shooting people and macing people and beating people with batons and fists. Victoria White was there. She got hit in the face over and over and over again. Yet, she wasn't even fighting back. She was pushed up against the wall, and the police are beating her in the face. You have to go on TV and claim, we're the greatest victims, which I'm not going to lie. There were police officers that got what they did not deserve what they got. And I feel bad for them. I generally do. My issue is with these J6 celebrity cops that lie saying that it was worse than their tour in Iraq and that, people were trying to kill them. And, those people are full of shit. Those people are full of shit. Now, if you wanted to call it a riot, that would be fair. That'd be reasonable. Even though we weren't the ones that started it, I'd be willing to take that on the chin and be like, okay, fair enough, it was a riot. But no, they go too far. They call it insurrection, say people are trying to overthrow the government or something. No, that's straight up bullshit. And these are far left partisans. That's the reason why they say that. But it's crazy because we were getting crushed to death. I was getting crushed to death for close to 9 minutes straight. And those Capitol Police kept pushing people on top of me, pushing people on top of me. They had no regard for human life because they were Trump supporters. They did not care whether we lived or died because we were Trump supporters. So they kept pushing people on top of us. They kept pouring down. I kept feeling this waterfall of mace and chemical spray getting poured on me until my hair is covered in it, my underwear and my socks are covered in it. Even though I'm wearing a hoodie, I'll get covered in it down to my bare skin, like with this mace. And they keep spraying this mace like crazy. And they're spraying people that are trying to retreat.
Personally, your eyes were rolled back, your tongue was hanging out of the side of your head. It was a police beatdown, brutalization of unarmed American patriots and protesters on the steps of the Capitol. And, many men like myself just couldn't handle just sitting back idly. And so, we had to spring into action. And, there were people there that day that say that if, me and a lot of the guys that are currently sitting in the gulag right now for years, some of them without trial too, didn't stand up to in defensive action, that there would have been dozens of people that died that day, not just Roseanne Boyland. And in that one situation, and our other brave patriot heroes that gave the full measure for this country, Ashley Babbitt and Kevin Greason and Benjamin Guys.
Jake Lang 100% saved my life. And
thanks. The medic saved your life. I just got you out of that precarious situation the police put you in. I saw those guys do CPR on you or whatever they were doing, trying to get your air pipe open because you were just like literally gasping, barely able to breathe. But by the grace of God, you're still here with us and you're still putting up a fight. And I'm proud to call you one of my brothers. And it's quite the situation going through this and seeing the family that's been created out of this persecution. It's an unintended positive consequence to all of this. The fact that we're all here, 1,000 of us on this space today, and we're forming alliances and connections and allegiances that are going to last decades and be some of the strongest, I guess, connections in this new wave of American liberty here. The unity and the fidelity that we have to one another, that's grown through standing beside one another. Like there's a great quote, never forget somebody who stood with you in the rain when they could have been dry. And that's you, Jim Hoff, and that's you, General Flynn, and that's you, Philip. And before you were even detained or arrested, Philip, you were by my side. And I appreciate that, brother. And I'll always appreciate everybody here and all the Jan 6 family members.
All right, Jay.
And all of our supporters. I'm sorry, guys, I'm here. There's always something going on. People trying to fight over the phone and stuff here. It's ridiculous, but I'll always appreciate and honor the allegiances and bonds that have been formed through this. It's special. It's historic, and it's built by God in order to bring they've created this wicked regime, this despotic Marxist regime has created the only force great enough and strong enough to be able to defeat them through putting us through this persecution. They've strengthened us and connected us and united us in such a way that we are now strong enough to be able to withstand anything that they throw at us. And that's by the grace of God. That's what God does. He tells us in the Bible what the devil intended for evil, God will use for our good. And I truly believe that January 6th is like the most poignant example of that we've had here since maybe your David and Goliath scenario. Since King David and since Easter Sunday, last Sunday, what the devil intended for evil, God used for the greatest good of all mankind ever when our Lord was resurrected and brought out of that tomb. And we're going to see another resurrection period. All these dead lives that have been destroyed, the family businesses that have been eroded, the mortgaged houses that have been foreclosed on, the cars that have been repossessed, all of these horrible years that the locusts have eaten, God will restore. All my Jan 6 brothers and sisters, God will restore us. And we just got to continue to hold firm in our faith and stand our ground with the same principles that we stood up for on January 6th. They still apply. We still have to maintain that same integrity and lack of compromising to our enemies. And you guys are heroes. You guys are my inspiration. And people like Philip are awesome. And they deserve places of our highest esteem in this country. And so I'm just grateful to be a Jan 6 Patriot, grateful to have my birthday with you guys, and I'm excited what God does in 2024 for our beautiful country, the United States of America.
That's wonderful, Jake. Thank you so much.
Wow.
General Flynn, do you want to add some words as we close this up? First.
Let me just finish with I want people to just sort of fear not that, in the long arc of history, the one kingdom that has remained steadfast is the kingdom of God. And I want people to remember that. That this nation was founded upon a set of Judeo-Christian principles and values, and we have to be fearless about what we believe in. And so, Jake, I wish you the happiest birthdays, and I look forward to celebrating a birthday with you sometime in person. Okay? God bless everybody.
Thank you, General. It looks like we're having trouble again with Jake getting online. Philip, thank you for sharing your story with us. Everyone who joined in, Ivan, thanks for sharing a few words. We really appreciate you. For everybody out there, I hope that you go to flynnmovie.com and check out when you can see this, where you can purchase this. Congratulations, General, on the success so far with the movie. And thank you for everything you've done for all of us, setting such a great example. Jake Lang, our hearts are with you. We won't forget about you. We love you, Jake. You hang in there. You've been just an amazing inspiration. Philip, hang in there, buddy. We know it's hard, but our prayers are with you. So thanks so much, guys. Have a wonderful Sunday. God bless you all, and we hope that we see great blessings ahead of you. Thank you all. Make sure